Welcome to the Perfectly Sane Show, episode 725. I am Chris, as always, joined by Tony.
I just got back into DC a few hours ago from a 2-week odyssey. I'm so happy to know that they're moving all of these tanks into the city to have a parade in my honor.
It's nice of them Oh, Tony's back. Let's have a military parade. Earl is here as well.
And a new parade here. We're just going to start pepper spraying anybody in New York anyhow. We might deploy, the Marines or something. Who knows? We'll mix it up.
That seems to be the vibe here in Philly too. So no tanks yet, but who knows?
They're coming.
The police are just involved in beating up regular citizens currently. So, it's been a week. And if you followed the news, maybe not a great week, but maybe we will bring something, I don't know, to keep your mind off of that for a little bit as we talk about Summer Games Fest and the Xbox Showcase and the Konami event, all of which I think Tony missed, most of it at least.
I missed everything.
Yeah.
And I missed the Xbox, but I saw most of the Summer Game Fest. What was I doing? Oh, I know what I do on Sunday. Okay, never mind. But yes, so I mean, I guess we should start with Summer Game Fest since that was first.
Yeah, we could do that. I don't have a list. I have a list of games. I don't have a list of how they were
Ordered. No.
Yeah.
And I think that is important to discuss the overall Summer Game Festness, which was fine, I think, at best.
Yeah.
Of a show. I think the same complaints that kind of ring true every year since he's been doing it remains true. I think 2 hours is too much for what he has to offer. And I think that the pacing or organization of the games just does not lend itself well. I do appreciate the diversity of games that they had this year, if not for the fact that they're probably all they could get. But there's just a thing where I think other people are better at if you can do a bunch of similar looking games at the same time and then break it up, or break it up with like every other game being slightly different. But people comparing, and I think it's legit. Like there are parts where like there's just montages of like 4 games in a row for like 10 minutes with no care like this is a different game and they all look the same. I think a lot of people came out because the big theme, which is not surprising because this industry runs in waves, seems to be everybody wants to be a Soulsborne. Everybody has that gothic, creepy aesthetic with that, combat. And if you all do that, none of it stands out.
Yeah,
all these games are gonna. So a couple of these games will rise to the top, and the rest will all be utter failures.
Well, I mean, will they rise to the top because Soulsborne exists and they still are made?
Yeah, but there's not one this year, right?
I mean, Night Rain.
Yeah, but that doesn't sound like it's the same type of thing.
I think there was one earlier this year that was very similar. But yeah, I mean, I could be wrong. I don't even know if many of these were this year. Yeah. And then people were upset, and I think fair, about how Resident Evil was handled.
I like that trailer. That was the big ending, right? Yeah. Like that was the ender.
I don't think that was the problem.
No, I liked it. It's mostly a cinematic trailer. In fact, I think there was no gameplay involved, and it's a cinematic, like a dialogue heavy kind of story bit for the first. Like it's a longer trailer, but I think for the first 2 minutes or so is like a story type thing, like where you don't really know what's going on. I think if you are a big fan of Resident Evil, you started to get hints that it was very early. The character you play is related to a character in a previous Resident Evil. But yeah, it was an interesting reveal. But we're going back to Raccoon City if you're a fan of Resident Evil. So that'll be fun.
Yes. And just to clarify, because Tony didn't see, part of the reason people were upset, like halfway through the show, that lady Detrimus or whatever from Resident Evil 7, the big tall woman that everybody had a crush on.
From Village.
Not everybody, but a very, very vocal minority, I think.
Yes, a very horny group.
Yes.
From Village, yes. Her voice actress came out, and she was celebrating that like the Resident Evil franchise is on sale on like storefronts right now, and it ends with like, and we'll be ready to we'll share more about the next Resident Evil adventure with you when we're ready. And people thought that was it for Resident Evil. So you had this thing, and then an hour later you do the reveal, which is kind of I can see it as a neat kind of tease. But people were like, "Oh, this is it. And then it was kind of like that blue balls. They pulled the rug from underneath them. But again, they did pay it off at the end. I think the pacing was weird. Not as bad, I don't think. But again, just because of what the game is, I think similarly with the Deadpool VR game, where it starts off with the we're just gonna nix the Hollow Knight Silk Song trailer for this. I don't think people were upset about that. They understand it's Deadpool. But I think that was, I mean, again, we got something about it over the weekend, so we can get to that in the Xbox One. Also, Deadpool VR was announced. I did not realize that was, I was going to say Chris Pine. No, it's Neil Patrick Harris. It sounded like the person was just doing a Ryan Reynolds impersonation.
Wait, it's Neil Patrick Harris doing Ryan Reynolds?
That's what it sounds like.
That's ridiculous. Okay, I mean, at this point, Ryan Reynolds is very.
He's very busy, I guess, and not available. So.
But he is kind of Deadpool to many people, so I guess you kind of have to, right? I mean, like his voice is Deadpool. Like,
okay.
He's Deadpool.
I thought you meant Neil Patrick Harris for a
second. No. Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool. Yeah, like
I missed something.
So, like, it kind of makes sense that he would maybe be trying to do his best impersonation of that Deadpool.
Oh no, I get that. That's not what I really have fault with. I just feel like you don't get somebody the caliber of Neil Patrick Harris. I'm not saying he's like an A-lister.
Absolutely, yeah.
But you don't get him to do an impersonation of somebody else. That's when you hire a voice actor.
I wonder how close they're, like, I've never thought about it before, but their voices are very similar.
Yeah, so it could be him just doing him.
He could just be doing himself, and he just happens to sound like Ryan Reynolds. This is like our first.
As Deadpool, right? Because Deadpool has like that vibe, so which is very much the Ryan Reynolds vibe. But
yeah,
who knows? I'll never play that game, so
it's on Oculus. Maybe I'll try it.
Oh, do you have an Oculus?
I do.
Cool. Well, then maybe we'll have some VR news when it comes out. Tony can run around as Neil Patrick Harris playing Ryan Reynolds.
Sure, that's going to happen.
Anything else jump out at you, Earl?
I think personally for me, one of the games of the show, just because it just radically looks different than anything I've ever seen in gaming. Felt that boxing.
Yeah.
How they keep that up, we'll see. But it is puppets. It looks like puppets, and it pretty much looks as a Punch-Out game. So it has a nice sense of humor to it. It has a good sense of, again, artistic style. So I'm really curious to see if they get that all together.
Yeah, that it's funny. It's like I didn't get to watch most of the Summer Games Fest show, just because it was a weird time. It started like it was 5:00 on a Friday.
Yeah.
Just like a shitty time time slot. And so Geoff was like, he had texted me. It was like, oh, just remembered it was on. And I was like, oh, I haven't watched it. Anything good? He's like, are you excited for Muppet boxing? It's like, not
Muppet
really.
boxing.
Because like that's like it's like knockoff Muppets in this the one that Earl was just talking about. Felt is FELT, as in like what Muppets are made of. Yeah.
But also like the canvas.
Yes. So felt that boxing. I don't know. Did they show gameplay though, Earl? Like
I think so.
What I saw of it was just kind of like cinematic.
Again, it's hard to tell, but because I think it's like a punch out game. So there are parts where they're boxing and it does look like there's health meters above. But is that cinematic or is that actual gameplay? Well, because there's no real thing to gauge it against.
All right. Well, if it is a punch out type game, I'm more interested in it than it just being a Muppet boxing game. Which when Geoff told me about it, I was like, oh no, not really excited about that.
I feel like if I'm going to get to punch a Muppet, I want to do it in person. Like,
there's a lot to be said about that energy, sir.
Like, which Muppet would you want to punch in person, though?
I think we start with Fozzie.
Oh wow, we're just going hard. Like that's
very very punchable.
He's minding his business, just saying waka waka.
Yeah, I'd wacka wacka that waka waka.
These are knockoff Muppets, so unfortunately, no, you won't be able to. I mean, you might be able to punch a like knockoff Fozzie looking Muppet, but
I mean, also maybe we extend from the Muppet Show to Sesame Street. Bert.
Oh yeah, Bert has a punchable face.
I would like to punch Bert. I would.
That seems fair.
Okay, so just some quick things to run through again that looked interesting. The Lego Voyagers game looked really cute. That's the one where it's co-op and your Lego pieces and you build structures to kind of navigate the level together.
Mm-hmm.
That looks super adorable. I'm more curious about this just because I enjoy the concept of, the team-up idea more. That we'll see if the game sucks. Nicktoons and the Dice of Destiny, which it looks like a Diablo clone with Nicktoons characters.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
If the gameplay, like, is
actually decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like what was that Minecraft game that was kind of Diablo-ish?
Legends or Dungeons, Minecraft Dungeons.
Dungeons, yeah. That one just didn't have enough to keep you playing. But if this has something in between there, that could be good.
Yeah. These were interesting for the opposite reason. Fortnite, which Fortnite again, I pay whatever. That's not the big deal. The big deal was he had a presentation on Fortnite, not about the new season that started that weekend, but about the one-time event that was happening the next day, which just seems like paid advertisement. You're really running a show. Play this game tomorrow.
They were advertising the Death Star event, right?
Yeah, which is a one-time event that happened for like an hour, and then that was it. But again, that's just an advertisement. And then the other thing, I guess this isn't a negative. It's just an interesting choice for me. Is I guess because he's famous. They had Mad Mikkelsen come out. Your Chief from Casino Royale joined Hitman World of Assassination this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And they just kept on talking about it. And like your Chief would not even rank in like my top 10 most iconic Bond villains. But I guess of the Craig era, he's probably the second most well known behind Blofeld and Spectre. Or at least the one that has some type of a gimmick or interesting in some fashion. But yeah, he's in World of Assassination. And I forget, did we talk about First Sight last week? Was that revealed last week? It was revealed last week, but I don't remember if the gameplay had shown up already. Or
no, it was just the cinematic kind of story trailer where we thought the guy kind of looked like Nathan Drake.
Okay, yeah, then nothing's changed. Because I don't think they showed any gameplay. I even skimmed through because IO had their showcase or whatever over the weekend, and there was really no actual gameplay of 007. So we'll see how that goes. They do talk about, like wanting to do more like stealth versus action and how you can approach the stage in whichever way you want. Which again sounds like it's going to be a Hitman game with a bit more action tint to it.
Yeah.
Which again, it could work. Could work.
Geoff, you watched SGF. Anything jump out at you from it?
I watched like everything over the last week or whatever. And the games that I'm most excited for did not change from before any of these events to after. So I don't know. Take that how you will. Like the things I'm most excited for I already knew about, and then like nothing I saw. Didn't the Microsoft one ended with like Call of Duty? It's like, yeah, no shit, dude.
Yeah. One more thing. Guess what? There's another Call of Duty coming.
Yeah, like, and I like Call of Duty, but it's just like, come on, man.
That was
you can start with that.
Yeah,
I think that's a better starter than Ender. But then, what would you have ended with?
I have no. That's what I'm saying. There wasn't like. I don't know. There's games I'll play for sure.
I think, like, I mean, if you're not going to do like a big surprise reveal, then you end. I think you end with the Outer Worlds 2, and then like just the trailer, and then go immediately following this. We have our developer direct. Like,
yeah.
I think Geoff, you had texted me during SGF like the best game so far is Sonic Racing Cross Worlds.
Yeah, hell yeah, that looks fun, right?
Yeah, it does. It's gonna be a good year for kart racing.
The Minecraft shit looked cool. I mean, whatever. Yeah, it's. Their racers are usually good to begin with. Like, there's the one I think the last one they did I did not like, but all the other ones
Team
really
Racing.
Yeah, that one was like very disappointing, but for the most part, they're really solid like kart racers. So,
and this one looks fun. Like, has like a neat gimmick to it. So, the other, I guess we should touch on it. Like, it's the other weird thing that happened was one of the developers for Splitgate 2 came out in a make FPSs great again hat.
Oh my god, no.
He's been apologizing for it all week.
Does he?
Yes.
Either do it or don't, you fucking pussy.
Yeah. So he came out, said that he said, I wasn't trying to make a political statement. I wasn't trying to disparage other first-person shooters. Like, then why did you wear it? Like
they totally were.
What
too.
was the
like,
point?
They were like talking shit about other first-person shooters.
Yeah,
like, so battle royale.
Yeah. So like we're doing like and that was the thing, right? Like I played the beta for Splitgate 2. And I'm on the Discord, so I'm like getting their updates. They're like, "Hey, we got something big coming, bigger than anything we've ever done in Splitgate." I'm like, "All right." Like, I kind of want to hear what your announcement's going to be. Like, are you adding a campaign? That would be kind of cool. No, they come out and go, "We're dropping a battle royale," while this douche is wearing that hat, while also disparaging like Call of Duty and Battlefield. And yeah, he's been backtracking basically since Friday. Like, I think the first apology went up Friday.
I thought I was the only one that was like, "This is so." Well, actually, no, because the reaction rolled in after. But like right away, I was like texting Chris, like, "Dude, what the fuck is this guy talking about?" Like, I've not played Splitgate, so I don't know how it is. But if you're gonna like be like, we're doing something interesting in the first-person shooter space, and then it'd be like, "Here's a battle royale." Like, what the fuck?
That's not the get. It was very, very, very weird.
Yeah, it's extremely weird. And from what I understand, I've not played it. Splitgate 1, it sounded like it was a decent game. Because like, there was like the portal, so the teleportation method, and it sounded like they were building on that. But because he apologized and has not apologized in so many different ways over the past week. Because one of the things he's saying was, I was just trying to drum up interest for the game in the studio. I know the old adage is there's no such thing as bad publicity. That has been proven wrong time and time again.
Yep. Yeah. This is why, like, every day on the Discord, there's like a new post for him backtracking what he said the previous day. It's been amusing. And like that game does some cool things, like with its game modes, but yeah, not the way to ingratiate people to your free to play game. Or maybe it is. Like maybe there's some jackasses that really are big into that. I don't know. Anything else jump out at you from this? I'm not sure there's anything here that like Tony is like, yeah, I need to play that.
Not a single thing so far.
No, there's nothing.
Yeah, I think there's things that jumped out for some of the wrong reasons, like the Game of Thrones title. What was that? I think that's a
really striking the iron while it's hot on that
it's
one.
a real-time strategy game, right?
War for Westeros. I don't know what it is.
Gameplay of it. That was the thing.
Yeah, it is a real-time strategy game. Yeah, it's all cinematics of like Jon Snow.
And that was the thing, like Geoff pointed out. Like you're harkening back to the season that people did not like. Like it's him versus the
White Walkers.
The White Walker. And like, yeah, that's not how it goes in the show either. I mean, he's not the one who takes them out. So yeah. So that was one. And I think the game itself is interesting, but I think when everybody heard that there was gonna be like a new Wu-Tang game, it being like a 2D beat 'em up, I thought we were getting like a Def Jam type experience. But yeah, I think that, like, again, it was fine at best. I would say maybe a 6.
Yeah, nothing that I saw when I caught pieces of it, and nothing that Geoff told me about, or what I caught afterwards was like, oh yeah, that was a great show.
Yeah.
So that was SGF. Then the Xbox game showcase was Sunday. I guess somewhere in between there was the IO showcase, which they showed Bond, and I guess they showed some Mind's Eye. that shit seems fascinating. We talked briefly about Mind's Eye last week. It's I can't remember the name of the studio, but it's one of the former guys from Rockstar. It's being published by IO, and it's a nightmare. Evidently, like the AI is busted. There's bugs. I saw somebody hit somebody with a car, and that guy just like disintegrated into a gelatinous mess. Like the bugs are hysterical. I kind of want to play it just for just to see how much of a mess it is, but kind of like Golem, but not for $60. Like, absolutely not. But yeah, so go ahead, Johnny.
I was gonna say, I'm sure wait a bit and you'll be able to get it for far less.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. Like, if I can get that on a cheap discount, I'll give it a go. Maybe they'll clean it up a little bit, right? Like, maybe it'll play better than it is right now.
Or maybe no one will buy it and they'll instantly abandon it, and it will
disappear forever.
Yeah, it's like on one level, I want to play what everybody is playing right now just to see how nightmarish it really is. And then on another, it's like, I would like to see them get a shot at fixing it, but that doesn't seem like things that happen. New Indiana Jones DLC, The Order of the Giants, that's coming.
Oh, can I just say one quick thing for the IO Interactive show?
Yeah.
And I think this is interesting. It's not, but Hitman World of Assassination, they announced they're adding a co-op mode for that game. So you'll be able to play as 2 agents, Stone and Knight or something like that. and experience the game through co-op. And I think, I mean, kudos to them. That game is almost a decade old. Well, the game itself, but World of Assassination, the combination of 3 games, right?
Yeah, right.
It's all 3. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, between that and having like the sheep and a new mission, they've done a really good job of continuing to update that game.
I think we in all this, we've kind of forgotten that they were part of, or it was being published by WB at one point. And they broke away. I think it was WB. They broke away, went independent, and
it got way better. It got way better.
It did get way better. Yeah.
Hitman 3 apparently came out in 2021. So, but I mean, the first game came out in 2016. There we go.
Yeah. So, like the base of that game is 10 years old. So, yeah. So I mean, I think in terms of reveals, none of it was like super surprising out of Xbox, but I think it was better than SGF. They showed the Outer Worlds 2. That looks fun. But we already knew about it.
I mean, it was the thing afterwards too.
Yeah. Tony Hawk, Pro Skater 3 and 4. I guess they dropped a demo. Geoff, did you play that by chance?
No, I forgot about it. But yeah, I meant to.
I mean, I'm going to play that game when it comes out.
Yeah. Turtles.
Yeah.
There's a. Was that in the Xbox one, or that was in SGF?
When they showed Tony Hawk, I remember them showing Ninja Turtles.
Oh, and Turtles, yes.
Yes,
there's Ninja Turtles and Tony Hawk, yes. So yeah, that's kind of cool. Go ahead, Earl.
Oh no, I was going to say I think Sony and Microsoft to an extent, and I don't think this is a problem, but I think what we're seeing is a lot of companies are taking the more conservative approach that Nintendo switched to about a decade ago, where it's like, we're not going to show you games 3, 4, 5 years out anymore. We're going to show you like the next 12 to 18 months. And for Xbox, that meant a lot of updates on games we knew existed and more concrete details on them.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a bad thing, but it does make for a less exciting conference because there are not, like, I think in hindsight, if they had saved Ninja Gaiden 4 from their January event, you could have had that as a big show to hear. But then the January event would have felt like a nothing burger.
I think you could have just dropped the Ninja Gaiden 2 remake and be like, that was a pretty big get at the time, but 4 was definitely what stole the show there. But yeah, Grounded 2. I don't know. Did we play Grounded? Did anybody here play Grounded?
I played it for like an hour, and then I realized I don't like these survival games. I don't know of any of them that I find enjoyable.
There's a new Plague Tale game coming. Looks like an expansion for Age of Mythology.
I saw that. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah, that looks fun. They finally announced Final Fantasy VII remake and Final Fantasy 16 for Xbox,
which was available immediately, right?
16 was available immediately. Yeah, and that's cool. Like that is neat. It's just, man, like that game's a year and a half old now.
Yeah, I think
7's even older.
It would have been more exciting if it was on Game Pass.
Yeah,
right. I would play that for free instantly. I'm not paying full price for it now.
Yeah.
Super Meat Boy 3D.
That looks cool.
It does. I was never good at
Super Meat Boy.
2D Super Meat Boy.
Yeah. Adding a whole different dimension.
Yeah.
But it looks good.
Yes.
Invincible Versus, which is a 3v3 Invincible fighting game.
There's a lot of fighting games over the last week.
Yeah, I mean, get on that. I think of the superhero ones, the success interesting than the Marvel one.
Sure.
But we'll see. My thing was, as somebody who watches the Amazon show and read, I want to say the first 100 issues of the comics, there are characters, but most of them are like the same power set. Because it's like him his dad, his younger brother, who I guess is half Viltrumite. There's like the Viltrumite army. There's the alien dude who comes to fight him once a year to make sure he's strong. Adam, Eve. I guess you have those people, but like, in theory, a lot of them shouldn't be able to fight invincible. I think that's what the show and the comic show. That's why Omni-Man was able to destroy them so easily when he attacked the Guardians of the Globe or whatever their name is. But we'll see. We'll see. I also just don't. I think there's interesting characters. I just don't think there's like, oh man, I can't believe they're getting this guy in an Invincible game. It does not have the Smash Brothers thing. It does not have the Marvel thing, where there's like hundreds of characters that you're going to be excited to see.
Yeah, like at least with Marvel, you're like, oh, like is my favorite Marvel hero going to be in this? Like Invincible is kind of a closed world. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Anything else jump out at you from the Xbox showcase? There's a Highland Life 2.
That game still looks. I don't understand.
Annoying.
I was trying to find nicer words, but yes, I did not see this, but I've heard people really. Oh, there was a Game Freak game.
Yeah. That was surprising. I thought.
Yeah. That Beast of Reincarnation. That one. Yeah. So that's neat. I didn't really get a good vibe of what it was. Did you guys kind of understand that a little better?
It seemed like an RPG, right? Like
I thought like an action game, but I think people were just more. It's the Pokemon people doing something, and
it looked different. Yeah.
Yes, like they've done other stuff, obviously, but I think
nothing in that vein. Like it looked like this looked like a serious RPG or something like that.
Oh no, that's what I meant. Like, I think a lot of people, because yes, their games are not big, and I think especially coming off of like Guardian of Violet, where so much of it was the perform. Again, it has its problems. I will always say that there's no other game in the industry right now that's doing like 1,000 unique characters and animations. So it's very hard to judge them against anything on a pure quality standpoint. I understand what it is, but yes, they've done other games. We'll see how this goes. I'm very curious to see what comes of it. But again, I think people were more just talking about it. Again, a lot of what I saw, because I didn't watch this side, was people's reactions to big announcements. And I think Game Freak having a game on the Xbox stage was a big thing for a lot of people because, of course, they are the Pokemon developers, even though Pokemon has its own weird setup.
I was Googling while the trailer was happening. I'm like, Game Freak, isn't that the Pokemon studio? Like, I like sit next to my wife and being like, and I like Google Game Freak, and that's something that pops up. I was like, holy shit, this looks so different.
It's evidently an action RPG, so
yeah, that kind of tracks.
See how that turns out. That is interesting, though. I think that could be exciting.
Maybe it's a Souls-like.
Jesus,
it did not look like that. Maybe.
Tony just knows how to deflate any enthusiasm I have for something. The only other thing that kind of caught my eye was that they're remaking Persona 4.
Yeah, people, I guess, were guessing that.
Yeah, because they did 3 last year, and I guess 4 had been rumored, and that is coming.
I mean, if it was not rumored, I mean, the cast that not returning did spill the beans.
Yeah, and it was starting to leak beforehand, right? That the cast wasn't going to be in it. So, interesting. And then today, I think it was today. Yeah, it was this morning. Konami had an event, which is weird. It's just weird to think that Konami is having events again, like because they went for a while where. After Kojima left, they kind of evaporated, but they built themselves back up a little bit, and they showed a bunch more Metal Gear Solid Delta, which I mean it's just the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. So it looks like a 2D platformer, Darwin's Paradox. That looks like it could be fun. A bunch of esports stuff, and I don't mean like esports as in competitive, but like e-football and e-baseball. Their branding of sports. Suikoden 1 and 2 HD are coming to Switch 2. I guess it's out right now. A Gradius collection, and I don't know. If you like if you've been following Konami over the last little bit, they've done some really good collections with their Castlevania stuff. There's a good Contra collection out there. Were they the Turtles collection as well?
I don't think the most recent one.
The Cowabunga collection?
Yeah, it was not Konami, was it?
It's Digital Chip, the people who are doing the Mortal Kombat one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And they showed Deliver at All Costs again. I'm not sure why. That game's already out. I guess they just needed something to fill 2 more minutes.
They're trying to remind me.
Yeah, they just keep bringing it up so that Geoff will eventually play it.
The game that I brought up.
Yes, you brought up. I finished now. Survival Kids, which Earl had mentioned previously, which looks like it kind of, in a way, it kind of looks like Grounded, like just from a different perspective.
Yeah, like it's somehow a more kiddie version of Grounded.
Yeah, which is wild. More Silent Hill F, which is evidently out this year. I didn't realize that. That's out in September. And then the big one for me was, and there's nothing other than that it's happening. But they are remaking the original Silent Hill. The same team that just did Silent Hill 2 remake. They're going to be doing the original PlayStation Silent Hill. Which to me, that's a bigger pull, a bigger ask, I guess, for Blooper Team, because the PlayStation doesn't have the graphical power that the PlayStation 2 had. So they're gonna have to do a whole lot more work, I think, to bring that up to a modern day. But if they can hit it, that's a fun one, I think.
Did we not even touch on Resident Evil 9 is happening?
Oh, we did right before you came in. Yeah, so excited for that one, Geoff?
Absolutely, man. They never miss. Yeah. Resident Evil's even dude, I could go back and play 6. That's how much I enjoy Resident Evil.
I was gonna say, I don't know if they never miss, because I played 6, and some of those spin-offs are kind of funky. So I will say I do miss Operation Raccoon City.
Yeah. Their 2 multiplayer ones were not good, but they don't count.
And I do love that you get to play from first or third person. Love that. Third person for life.
Yeah, I prefer Resident Evil in third person, so that'll be neat. I am interested to see though, because the rumors are that this is the third of their big kind of RE engine open world game. So like with Dragon's Dogma and what was the new Monster Hunter Wilds? Was that the new one?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know how I feel about an open world Resident Evil game, but
they said open world.
That's the kind of the rumor right now, is that this is the third of their big open world games that they've been making.
I don't know. I mean, isn't Resident Evil 4 kind of?
I don't think so.
I mean, it's stages, but it's like presented as such.
Bigger areas for sure, yeah. But yeah, I just don't know how you would translate Resident Evil to an open world kind of.
Doesn't seem like that would be yeah.
Right. Like I'm hoping that rumor is not true, but we'll see.
It looked good. Like it looked cool. Like it looked even in like a more serious vibe than usual. Like I had no clue what it was until the end when I said RE9. I was like, oh shit.
It's funny that you like it. So like all the way until the end, like
I had no idea.
Even when they showed the crater, you weren't like, this is Raccoon City, and then they showed Raccoon City Police Department.
I didn't notice, but the creator wouldn't have meant anything to me.
Yeah, so I had already kind of like felt that it was our Resident Evil because the character's name they mentioned is Ashcroft, and that's a previous character from a Resident Evil game. Not one that you play, I think, but she comes up in the story.
Yeah,
which sometimes you glaze over, so it's possible that you might miss that.
They're not great stories, as far as I can tell.
They're fun enough. But yeah, as soon as I saw the creator, I was like, oh, this is new Resident Evil, and then they showed the police department. I was like, we're back in Raccoon City.
I don't know how I missed that.
Yeah, it was
even again, I did not see what you were talking about. Like, I was like, where is the? I guess I missed it, but
yeah, it's like there's like an R and a P, and it's like tilted off to the side, and it's the entrance to the RPD, like where you spend the majority of Resident Evil 2. And they nuked it at the end of 3, so that's what the creator was that. Yeah, fun stuff there. That is probably the one that I came away going, I'm most excited for that, but we kind of knew Resident Evil 9 was coming.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're gonna keep making them, but like, I'm happy it's soon, and it looks like, again, I thought it looked a little more like serious than they usually are, and I don't know. I think the recent 7 and 8 I think are really great, so I'm super excited.
Yep. So good stuff there. Anything else, Earl, that you caught news-wise?
News-wise, outside of conference, I guess, Nintendo randomly announced that they're doing a Splatoon spin-off this week. No real details other than it looks like it's a single-player survival-ish game, maybe, but we'll see. And in addition to that, they bundled in that they're doing an update for Splatoon 3 that came out today, added new weapons, an old map, and updated graphics and stuff for the Switch 2. I think we'll get to Switch 2 sales and stuff in a bit when we talk about. I assume we're going to talk about the Switch 2.
Yes.
Other than that, again, I think because we've had Sony show. Oh, I guess this is big news. The the video game voice actors strike ended yesterday.
Yes.
I think it's been going on for about a year, roughly.
Did they get concessions on AI?
I don't know what they got. I just saw that it was, yeah.
That was the primary thing that they were kind of.
Yeah, I think that was everybody.
Yeah.
And then I think, other than that, and what is sadly common news but never good news, Sony Bend announced that they're laying off 40 people after the cancellation of, I think, another free-to-play game, a live service game. Sorry. So another. I don't know if this is one of the previous ones that was canceled or a different one, but yeah, those live service games.
They're dead.
I mean, they keep killing studios, that's for sure.
Service games.
Yeah. And nothing. I mean, I guess it's not weird because they had all that shit with Marathon that wasn't good news in the last few months prior to Summer Games Fest, but nothing new out of that this week. So no idea on if that's coming this year or if it's going to be delayed.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm curious what because it was persona non grata at the Sony event.
Yeah,
and that's just weird for a game that's supposed to launch in 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah, it's supposed to be very soon. So I wonder if they're pulling back on that, and which won't be good for Bungie if they do. So
yeah, or if they just outright can it because I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I know they do have to sift through every piece of artwork because of those plagiarism allegations. So We'll see. But yeah, you mentioned the Switch 2. We all have. Go ahead.
The Xbox handheld.
Oh, yeah, I don't know how we fucking missed that. It wasn't on the. You know what? It wasn't on the games list. That is why. Yeah. So the ROG Xbox Ally and the ROG Xbox Ally X. Jesus Christ, the fucking naming conventions coming out of Xbox anymore. Third party Xbox handhelds, a redo of. So it's not a base Windows platform like previous Allies, where it is going to have like a customized Windows OS. I don't know. Like I watched the reveal. They said native. I guess you could play games natively on it. I don't know if they clarified enough on that. If it is, you can play your entire library natively, or just the Play Anywhere titles natively. So I guess we're gonna have to wait on that.
Yeah, there was not a ton of details. I think people were even confused with their wording, because I think they said at launch you will be able to play Hollow Knight Silk Song, and people does that mean that it's launching with the Xbox handheld, or that it will be out before the Xbox handheld? And I think they came out and said that it's not being tied to any console or platform release this year, but it is due sometime this year.
If you go to Xbox's website, they're showing Silk Song as like the game.
Yeah, it's like in the menu, right?
Yeah.
Oh, they were very big on showing that in the trailer. And I mean, it's a good get for. I mean, the game has been announced for years and years. People just want to know when.
And it was announced early on that it was going to be a Game Pass game too. So, yeah. Geoff, you were excited for the Xbox handheld.
Yeah, I mean,
still feel that way.
Maybe.
I think price will be a big determining factor.
It's going to be pricey.
I did notice there's no price listed here.
Yeah.
No, there's no price listed.
The idea of having access to my Xbox games as a handheld is enticing. But it like that, like if I actually stop and think about it, like I play my Switch 99% of the time on the TV. So that's like, do I need a $700 like handheld of the Xbox? Like, it's cool. Like, I love that I would be able to do that. Am I going to use that ever? I don't play handheld a ton, man. I just don't.
Yeah.
But I still get excited about it because I'm like, it's so cool.
Just a quick search on Google. It seems like the Rogue Ally, which is their base model, it's like the cheapest one is $650.
Yep.
And then they have
the Ally X, right?
Yeah, it's $900.
Yep.
So I assume somewhere in about that ballpark.
That's a lot.
Get your $1,000 handheld here. Get it here. Get it hot.
Yeah.
People complaining about the Switch 2 price are going to look at that.
I know.
Instantly die.
And the funny thing is, the Switch 2 is pretty impressive. Like, I get it. It's not like up to snuff with like modern whatever numbers, but like it's pretty impressive all around. And for $400, like,
yeah. And you know that like just about everything you play on it is going to play well. We're going to really have to see how this plays out, because it's basically like the Xbox ROG Ally Xbox, whatever this Xbox handheld is, it's basically just a handheld PC. So
yeah.
And I think the problem, and again, apologize if this is incorrect or whatever, but again, I think part of the reason, like Geoff says, he plays his Switch mostly in dock mode. A lot of these things are nifty, but you are buying essentially a very expensive accessory for your console. Yes, this does TV out.
Right. It should do TV out. At least the Steam Deck does. Like there are people that play the Steam Deck like it is a console.
Okay.
Like they Bluetooth their they Bluetooth Xbox controllers to it or PlayStation controllers to it and hook it up to their TVs. It's not how I play it, but I could see that as a use case.
It makes sense, but it's one of those things that also seems very ridiculous because it's like, let's get a PC at that point. You're going to hook it up to a screen and a controller, but I get it. It's like, if you want to have two devices. But yes, it's one of those things that I think the form factor is what helps the Switch. What has helped the Switch is that it's both in a very user-friendly method. There's no additional setup or anything like that. Because, what was it? Again, well, I mean, I guess you can parlay to the Switch 2 and sales and stuff. But before it came out, somebody was because I think the big dog in that market behind the Switch is the Steam Deck, and I think the Steam Deck has its audience and it has its fans. But when you look at those handheld devices, they sell to a very specialized niche audience. And that I think people were saying, not just the Steam Deck, by the end of this fiscal year, by the end of March of 2026, the Switch 2 has the potential to outsell that entire market.
Oh yeah, I think the Steam Deck, which is the best selling of those devices, is only at like 4 or 5 million sold.
Yeah.
Which, because of like how we follow stuff, like the Steam Deck seems very like, everybody has a Steam Deck. Like, no, they don't. We're a very insular community, and like those people are talking about it.
Well, even on this podcast, like how
None
many
of us have it.
Steam Deck?
I'm the only one that has one, right?
I also have one.
Okay, so there's two of us. Like, it's a great device. It's just
sure, it's fine.
Yeah,
but I mean, it has. I mean, it has a lot of issues with. I mean, and I could be wrong. Like right now, it's only sold through Steam, right? Or have they?
Yeah, you can only buy it from Valve directly. Yes.
And I think that's just a no-go for a lot of people. Not that they have anything against Steam, but they have to know what Steam is. And I don't think you're going to necessarily get your mom and dad. I mean, and I guess that's a weird thing to say now. Like, our moms and dads, sure. But you folks are all parents. Like, you know video games. You probably know video games better than your kids do.
So here's the other thing about the Steam Deck is you can't just... It's like if you're like, Mom, buy me a Steam Deck. They can't just create an account and buy one. Like you need to have an active account for a little bit of time before you can buy.
Oh, I did not know
from their site.
Like technically, I could not buy one because my Steam account exists. I don't think I've used it other than to add free games to my library in like a decade.
Well, if you've added stuff to it though, like you're probably considered an active account, like, but you're like your account at least is live.
Okay.
It's not like Grandma is like opening up a brand new Steam account. Like Valve is gonna kind of be like, nah, not yet. You gotta wait.
See,
they're all sold out right now.
I was going to say I kind of get that around launch because I think that's kind of what Nintendo did with the Switch 2 on what they were selling. But I think because the Steam Deck is 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
At this point, I feel like inventory should get to a place where you shouldn't have to have people jump into hoops to potentially buy it. But again, I guess it's a very highly specialized device, and they're not making because, like, to your point, you're saying it's about 4 million. That is like 1 million a year. That's not a ton of units.
No, that's why it's like it's very insular, right? Like we know about it because of we play games, we follow them pretty closely. It's not the Switch, man. Like the Switch is like 150 million of those were sold.
Yeah, and again, I mean, yes, and it's easy to use. There's no setup, and then the other thing, is even people who I know who are big PC gamers or people like that, the fact is, like, every game you buy, you have to say, is this Steam Deck compatible? And there's still a possibility that's a no. And then you need to set up something. And then even if it does work, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work without some hoops to jump through.
Right. I'll say this. Like, I think the Steam Deck, if you are following along with verified or playable, it generally does work like a console. Like, you kind of install it and it goes. So when you get outside of that, then it gets a little questionable. But hey,
like,
if you're
useless for me in all my strategy games, like none of them.
Yeah, so I can't imagine you trying to play like people like rave about the trackpads. I'm like, man, these things are fucking garbage. Like, give me a real mouse. Like, I am not playing an RTS game. When I see like an RTS game or a 4X game like that's verified, I'm like, that is insane. Like, who is playing it like that? That's nuts.
It's got to be like designed for a console, almost like the Age of Empires game.
Yeah,
like that,
or like Halo Wars or something like that.
Yeah.
I would assume that this Xbox handheld would have to have some sort of like, this is Ally verified, or it's playable on the Ally, but it might cause some issues. I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out.
But yeah, let's transition into the Switch 2. Earl, did you said there were some sales numbers? Did we have those?
We do have them. I think Nintendo came out and said 3.4 million in the first 4 days, so from Thursday to Sunday of last week, making it one of the. It's the highest selling console in Japan, the fastest selling console in Japan. It is Nintendo's highest selling hardware in the US after 4 days. It is, I think, it's done really well, and part of me is, like, it seems like they did a good job of building up stock, but I'm curious to see how that momentum continues to go.
Yeah.
And that's a different thing. But out of the gate, it's doing very well. At 3.5 million in 4 days. I think for comparison, I think somebody said, article said, I think it took Sony about a month to get those numbers with the PlayStation 5. And I don't know if we have any comparison.
Did we lose Earl for a second there?
Can you not hear me?
No, I can hear him.
I can hear you.
I can't hear anybody.
Chris can't hear anybody. I talk shit now. I think, Earl, I saw the same thing regarding Switch 1, where it was like it took like a month or so to reach those numbers.
Yeah.
And you might be right that it might be a case of Nintendo seriously like stockpiled.
Yeah.
I think that was part of like why a lot of people assume they delayed, is to have supply.
Right.
I think that they said though that they expect to be like pretty well stocked through the end of the year, which is amazing.
Yeah, and fingers crossed, hopefully they do that. I will say so far, because again, you have those antidotes, and you have those stories.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you can hear me, but I can't hear you guys.
Yes.
I'll be back.
Okay. Wait, does that mean we use the recording?
Probably not.
Still hanging out.
Okay.
I'm gonna go do some drug, like snort a couple rails of cocaine. I'll be right back.
Oh, you actually gonna?
Who knows what I'll be doing?
Just like, I got a drug break, so. So, any other trips coming up, or is this it for the year?
Not till I have one in August, and I have another one in September.
Oh, that's not so bad. Where is the one in August?
Washington State.
Oh, I was about to say. That's
Washington D.C.
They have me coming in the office.
That one is actually a personal trip, thankfully.
Oh, okay then.
And then Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah, that's a work trip because nobody's going to go to
trip.
Birmingham.
No, I would opt out if I could, but I can't.
Yeah, I where was I? I think I was in Georgia, and I took the bus down to New Orleans a few years ago.
There we go.
And it stopped in. Howdy, are we back?
I am back. I don't know what the hell happened.
Okay, but we stopped in Alabama at a gas station. Not a gas station, but a rest stop. They, I fuel you up, and they give you 10-15 minutes. I grabbed something to eat there, and I'm like, this counts as my trip to Alabama. I was in the state. I ate. I never have to visit again.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've never been to Alabama before. It's one of the states that I have missed somehow. So
I can't imagine why.
yeah, I don't know. It's a mystery.
So
where were we at?
Well, Geoff asked us to do drugs, and we were talking about the Switch 2 sales.
The sales numbers.
So we all have a Switch now, then. Yes?
Sure. Ish?
Sure-ish. What happened to your Switch, Tony?
He hasn't got to pay it.
Yeah, so as you guys know, I've been traveling a lot lately. I was in New Orleans for our annual meeting. We came back on like late Wednesday night. And of course, the Switch was supposed to come out the next day. And I was leaving on Friday to go to a wedding in New Jersey. So I got mine on Walmart on the website, and Walmart, instead of having the console set to deliver on the day the Switch came out, had them ship on the day that the Switch came out, which meant that it was going to arrive on Friday. So I didn't know when it was going to show up, if I was going to have to leave before it got to my place. But it was actually delivered in the morning. I get this notice from Walmart.com, and a picture of where it was in my building. Now, my building uses something called parcel pending, which are like these individual lockers. So the person who puts the package in, like sets it up, and you end up with a code, and you're the only person who can open the code to the locker. If the package is too large, it ends up in this like really big shed where all the big packages go, and anybody with a code can get into the door and do whatever they want. So I look at the picture, I'm like, oh, even though the box is really small, for some reason they put it in the oversized thing, and I forgot to like check in the package, so I didn't get a code. So like I go down and I can actually see through. There's like this chain link fence that you can see all the packages on the inside. I'm like, oh, it's right there, but I can't get it. So I had to go and have building security let me into the stupid locker bin so I could get it.
Did they confirm who you were?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, yeah, that part, yeah. I had to show it, like I couldn't just waltz in there and grab it. They're also like there's like security cameras and everybody, so somebody can't just walk it. The trouble was that I had ordered that on Walmart, but I had ordered my like case and screen protector on Best Buy.
Oh.
So I had my Switch. I set it up, but I'm like, I can't bring this with me because I don't have the case yet. And Best Buy, for God knows what reason, didn't end up delivering the case till Saturday. So I left my Switch behind. Went to New Jersey. I came back. My kids spent the entire weekend texting me. They're like, when do we get the Switch 2? When do we get the Switch 2? I'm like, well, I need to put on the screen protector and put it in a case before you can have it. I get back from New Jersey Sunday afternoon. Like 5 o'clock. I had just enough time to like get the screen protector on and get it over to my kids before I left for my next trip without it. So I just got back today. I have been in the presence of my Switch 2 for maybe like an hour or two. But I have not had time to play it. My kids are enjoying it though. They really like Mario Kart. They've been playing Pokemon Violet. Which
update, right?
Yeah, the update has been great. It solved a lot of the technical issues the game had. Apparently, there were parts of the game where the frame rate would just slow to nothing, and all of those parts seem to work really well. It also has increased the number of Pokemon that are like displayed on the screen. So,
like on the field or
so there was a limit before, and they've increased the limit by a lot.
Because
I thought that was...
It doesn't have random encounter. It's like Legends, right? Where the wild
they're out in the world. You can go and find them. Yeah.
That's neat.
There are some screenshots and videos where if you look and there's like 3 or 4 Pokemon, and now you can get like a dozen or more wild Pokemon, and it actually does look like it still kind of can be sparse, but it looks lively. I am kind of curious to check it out. I think there's a few games in that realm that work for that. Because I've heard, again, I really enjoyed Echoes of Wisdom, but I know people had issues with Echoes of Wisdom and Link's Awakening because of the frame rate for that, and that seems to have been improved. I will say, even though I've not actually gone back and tested any of them myself, a lot of people have, and it seems like a lot of these updates and patches. And I will say, I'm enjoying my Switch too, but I will also say that as much as I love Nintendo, the bar for them is so low to clear right now. It's like your games work how people wanted them to work 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I've had, again, I like I said, I had no problem with these games, but stuff like that, stuff like a lot of games just being consistently hitting their frame rate, whether that be 30 or 60, and not just Nintendo games. People were talking about. I completely forgot that Batman Arkham Knight was ported to the Switch, and apparently that was just a busted ass port. And Digital Foundry is like, that's running well now, or it's running decently. I mean, it's still a game that's probably a bit advanced for the Switch. Stuff like that, and then other games. Pokemon, like you said, is a big example. But then other games, which I thought were already great, but like Bowser's Fury apparently runs at a steady 60 frames now. Again, I get it, but as somebody who just recently played the game, I understand like when Giga Bowser shows up, the frame rate can take a bit of a hit. I just thought it was more cinematic because he's a giant numbering thing, but whatever. There's a lot of games, and again, most of them are free. There are odds and ends. Platoon just got an update, like I said, to increase it 60 across the board. So I'm hoping that's something they continue to do. Find games, patch them, have it be supported that way. But yes, that again, I wouldn't even say that's a low bar for them. I think that was a bar that everybody had to come into this generation with. Because PS5 had a bunch of games that were patched, or performance was smoothed over with that. And I think even between the PS5 and the PS5 Pro, there's games like that. Same thing with Xboxes, certain games that run better off the hard drive than if they're on your external drive for older systems, because for some god reason you can't put anything on like an external hard drive with your Xbox. So yeah, I do want to make one note again. Bar is very, very low for Nintendo, but I tried out Game Chat this week, and I was so pleasantly surprised by how well that worked. I think part of it was it's been almost 20 years to just have native voice chat on a Nintendo system. It is.
You said low bar, so
yes,
that's quite low. Yes,
but and listen, I'm a person who had a Wii Speak that I never used. I don't even remember what the Wii U had.
Is it a mic in the gamepad? I thought it was a mic in the gamepad.
But did they use that for game chat in any function?
Don't know. I don't know if I ever played anything that needed a game chat, to be fair.
But that's what I mean. Like, I knew you could send messages and stuff to people, like text messages, but I don't know if it had like voice chat. And then the Switch had the phone app, which I used once or twice. I think it was easier to kind of set up Mario Kart with a bunch of people. But it's also a phone, and there's a multitude of ways to talk to people on a phone that does not involve using the Nintendo app, especially once Discord and Zoom took over. So it is,
Yeah.
and it's not just nice to have it like baked into the system, which is great in its own right. But it wasn't that I was so impressed by. I was impressed because I don't know why I did not pick up in my head, did not cross my mind that the Switch 2 has a built-in mic in the system.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just use that as voice chat when docked. I assume you can use it when undocked as well, or portable. But I'm thinking, I mean, we all lived through the pandemic. We've had webcams. Webcams pick up everything.
Yeah.
And I'm so surprised because this is right behind my soundbar, underneath my TV. I'm probably a good, I would say, 7-8 feet away from my. I'm very far from my TV. It's a very stupid setup. I need to fix, but that's me. So, and I'm a very soft speaker, and it picked me up no problem. There was no feedback. There was no, there was no echoes. And it's the same thing with my 3 other friends. And I was just so impressed by the technology that it picked up the voice with nothing. Like the video game's still going on. Your friends are talking to the TV screen, and it's not picking up any of that on the microphone. And I thought that was just a neat piece of technology, and I'm really curious to try it more.
Geoff, did you get back?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a similar experience with Game Chat too, right? Yeah,
I tried it again this week, and with Earl, it's awesome.
Good. I'm glad that turned out. When you guys use Game Chat, and I assume you've probably been using it with Mario Kart, although there are other games. Does it have those 4 bars across these people are in Game Chat, or is it just like you just hear people talking through your?
It looks like a. Well, I've never done a Zoom call because.
Yeah, okay, so it's like that.
It looks like Skype or anything else. Like,
yeah, have you ever done a Discord screen share? Discord has a thing where you can have one primary screen and then it has like the people you're talking to at the bottom.
Yeah,
and then you can lower that so that disappears and it's just the screen. The Switch has the same thing. So the Switch, by default, I think you can fix this. By default, when you turn it on, the screen itself becomes not the game will always be the primary screen, but it kind of shrinks to fit it, and then then it's like the faces at the bottom. Then there's another one that makes the faces smaller and then makes the screen bigger. Then you could just have the screen full screen and just have the voices kind of be voices.
Got it.
Okay. It was nice to try out in that sense because we did that, and my friend had a camera. I don't know if he had which one he had, so he got to try the camera, and he also tried screen share, which does not make sense in Mario Kart for a multitude of reasons. One, game's way too fast. 2, you're just gonna, that screen watching. But yeah, I could see the benefit of, again, I think the Switch 2 is a console that Nintendo made in April of 2020. Nintendo's like, we've been home for a month. This is what we need in our next video game system. We need the ability, like if you go visit somebody's Animal Crossing, or not even visit it, like you can screen share, everybody can, share their screen, and you have everybody giving tours of their island at the same time without having to visit everybody. And I think that's what their idea came from. Because Animal Crossing is a much slower paced game. I don't care if I get a picture every 5 seconds in that game.
Right.
Mario Kart is distracting to watch because that is not how Mario Kart should work.
Yeah, Mario Kart should be fast. Like it's a fast-paced game. So,
yes. And if you're screen sharing, I want to either see you do cool tricks I didn't know you could do, or I can't see any of that. The other thing, which I forgot to check, but my friends did, and they said it's actually really good. The text to speech I've heard is really good in that. And again, kudos to them. Yo bar for adding accessibility options to their video chatting service.
Well, good. Glad that seems to work properly. Tony can tell us about how it feels to play his Switch 2 when he finally gets a chance.
He still doesn't have it.
One day.
No, he has it, but
oh my god, bro!
Oh, I don't have it though.
His kids have it. And in fact, I believe that they played more Mario Kart than any of us else here. I looked today to see who was online, and I checked. I was like, "Oh, Tony's online." Oh, 20 hours of Mario Kart.
Oh wow!
That's a lot of Mario.
Whereas Jeff and myself and Earl was like, we've last played this 6 or 7 days ago. It's a lot of Mario Kart, but
my son was telling me about the individual characters from Mario Kart that were missing from the game. The little squid inky thing.
The Inkin from the Inkin or the bloopers?
The bloopers. Okay. He was complaining because the bloopers not in the game. He was looking for them and couldn't find them. Apparently, that's what he spent 20 hours doing.
They're in the. I will say, it is weird how you unlock certain characters in this game. Because as far as I know, some of them are kind of random. They're not entirely random, but you unlock them when Kamek turns you into the character during a race.
Yes, so I got the football guy,
the Charging Chucks.
Yeah, I got that today. That's by him, and then other ones are, and Geoff, you can confirm because you finished it all by completing the cups.
Yes, so you unlock Mario characters. Well, they're all Mario characters, but Donkey Kong, I think Pauline, Daisy. There's a few. Bowser Jr. I think you unlock for each cup you get somebody, and then spoiler alert, I guess when you finish all the cups, you unlock a final cup, which is Rainbow Road, which has Rainbow Road, I should say, because there's other courses in it. But then the NPC characters, the cow doesn't count because cow is already unlocked, but cow, Goomba, Cockdor, which is the bird with the sunglasses from Odyssey, so 3D World. Those are unlocked throughout the races, and they are unlocked when Kamek transforms you in specific stages. Because the first time I played Mario Kart was last Friday. I had some friends over because they wanted to check out the Switch too. And I was like, is that a dolphin on the bike? And
there is a dolphin on the bike.
Yeah.
Yes. I've not done the dolphin yet. I didn't want the dolphin. That's what I looked it up. How do you unlock the dolphin? It's
you don't have the dolphin?
No.
Yeah, I think it's just random, right?
It's random-ish. It's still it's unlocked through Kamek, but the way they find it, some of them the dolphin would appear more often in a Peach or something near water. So, I wouldn't unlock it in Rainbow Road. So it's more like the NPCs that are kind of on the map for that stage.
Got it. Okay.
But again, when you're playing by yourself, you have to hope that the NPCs somehow hit you with Kamek for this to happen.
Yeah, I've only had it happen a few times. So yeah, I haven't got that. I haven't got the dolphin yet.
Yeah. And then the other thing, in order to unlock the other character skins, it is also kind of random. Not as random because you can grind it, but you have to get the foods, eat the foods, and hope that the food unlocks a costume you hadn't had before.
Yep. They unlock by you go to specific
the little drive-through thing.
Yep. Yeah. With the little sandwich bags. Depending upon what food you eat, will unlock different skins for the character you are playing as. So,
and
like, if you get a pizza, maybe that turns Luigi into a gondolier or something.
Yes. And the positive is they are smart enough to get that. There's a thing you can see because Mario has the most costumes. Then I think it's not Luigi, but like it tells you like, okay, this person has 5 costumes, this person has 8 costumes or whatever, and it shows you the ones you got, so you can kind of figure out which ones you're missing, or But this is one of my personal pet peeves. I do not understand why every costume is its own character.
Yes, it is insane. Like, it's like, oh, like I've added 5 characters. It's just 5 different Mario skins.
Yeah, as far as I know, and maybe I'm wrong, they don't have different stats.
No, they're just it's just Mario.
Yes.
In a different outfit, or Peach in a different outfit, or Toadette.
And I'm like, why are they different character sets? Why can I not just part of me, I can understand like, oh, maybe you don't want a sub menu, but it's better than having a menu that's expanding because the first page is just Mario costumes now. And
so mine hasn't expanded like that. Like the Mario costumes get like dumped out in other.
Oh no, I sort them. You can just sort.
Okay, you can sort them. Okay, yeah, mine are just like I have it however they originally were, and then they fill them in afterwards.
Yeah, and that's annoying because I rather see again. It's the same character, so if I'm going to pick a different costume, I want it to be. Oh, I want to be Luigi today, or my main so far has been Nakato, because he has like I think that the sub characters have their pit crew outfits, so I think he does. I think Toadette and Toad have one, and I think Koopa Troopa has. I mean, Mario and Luigi don't have pit crew outfits, but whatever. They got Pro Racer's outfit, but sure.
Yeah.
But yes, that is my pet peeve. Is I hate that it's like we have like 100 characters. You don't have 100 characters. You got 20 characters.
I think I would prefer it be like like a regular fighting game. Not that Mario Kart's a fighting game, but like when you go to your character, like if you press like I don't know RB or something. Outfit. Yeah.
They did that with Yoshi's in 8, didn't they? You pick the Yoshi.
You hit Yoshi, and it brings up another menu of like the 9 different Yoshis you could play.
But this one, they're all different Yoshi characters. That said, I do find some of the costumes kind of cute. They are adorable. So yes, what do you folks think of the actual game?
I think it's great.
Yeah, I think it's great. The only thing I would add from what I said last week is I finally got to play like the free roam, and I did not like the free roam that much, but that's okay because the rest of it is so good. So
free roam's fine. It's just not. It's not as Forza Horizon-y as I would like. Like
that's what I thought we were getting. And that free roam, the free roam is just like super underwhelming overall. It's just like
the challenges are fine.
Yeah.
See, I am of 2 minds of it. I think I said it before it came out, and I've said it on social media. To me, I think a free roam, in terms of it's essentially a training ground. It's where you go to just, and I think for us who played Mario Kart forever, it's not. But I think again, I think because by default, and this is kind of annoying, like auto stairs on by default when you start the game, and you can turn on auto accelerate. And I think it's stuff they introduced in 8, and I think it's again them being more like there is. Mario Kart's not a hard game to learn, but there is learning people, and I think it's less pressure for them to kind of learn the controls, not even the maps or anything, just the controls in an environment where they're not being tested in that sense.
It's fine. It's just to me, in the lead up to the release, they made it
seem like a bigger deal.
They made it seem like that was the thing about this game, and it's like nobody is ever going to remember the open world about this game.
Yeah,
like it's just going to be like it was another good Mario Kart game. Like
there are 2 things I do adore about the open world, and it's not even to do with the key is you'll randomly get like a target or a NPC on the map who you chase down, and I find that fun. Like nab it, and then the thing sometimes charge and chuck, and they'll drop a item box, and you have to hit them with a green shell, and then nab it. You have to catch up to and hit, and he'll drop a bunch of coins. The other one I enjoy, and I hope they find a way to kind of incorporate this, and I wish there was more of this, and I think it's not random, but like you'll end up with those really random pop-up races where it's like, join this race in progress and win.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, that's cool. Like I like those challenges because I think it makes it more lively. Like, oh, like it's not just like people on these tracks; it's like people having these races because it's a driving game. But yes, to both of your points, outside of that, it's just me driving around. What's the point of interest? Because a lot of this looks the same. I'm not paying attention to the map.
Yeah, I think it's neat that like everything is interconnected. So like you can go from course to course all through that, but it's like there's not really much reason to do it. Like you can get the costume unlocks just by playing the game because there'll be Yoshi drive-throughs, on lap 1 or 2 of a new course. So I don't know. I really like the actual game though, and the knockout tour is I really like the knockout tour.
The knockout tour is so fun. It is so frustrating sometimes, but
yeah,
and there's nothing worse than investing like 10-15 minutes in a race and then like, oh, I just came in 9th when you need to be 8th or higher, or I'm gonna come in first, and like, oh no, I got pelted in the last minute. I'm now 5th and I'm knocked out. I played with some friends over the weekend online, and it was so great because like somebody got knocked out in the final 8, and then it was like us racing for the first, and like we all finished the race, and somebody said, I got second, I got 4th. I'm like, I got 3rd. Does that mean the computer beat? And then he comes up and it's like Baby Daisy beat us. Like, God damn it! We're all trying to dig each other over, but
I do wish that, and maybe I've only been unlucky once or twice with this, but I wish they would disable the blue shell on the final lap, like whatever that final 4 is.
Yeah,
because that sucks.
I will say, since I found out about it, I've been really honing my anti-blue shell skills. There we go. So if I get one, I hold onto a music box as long as I can, because that will break a blue shell.
Yes.
And a trick I heard recently, and I'm still working on the time, and I've gotten it down most of the way, is holding onto a mushroom, because you can boost out of it before it hits you right before it's diving, but you have to time it when it's diving.
I didn't know about that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, because like you'll boost, like it will explode behind you, but you don't get mushrooms in first phase, so you have to hold on to it. So that's kind of the rub. But the music box you can kind of get in first phase. But yeah, there is nothing worse than Mario Karting near the end, where it's like the end is right. Oh, what is it? And I do think, especially when you play with the computer, I do think because there's been times where like, the computer's tossed like 4 red shells at me, and I'm like, you can get 3. I don't know where that 4th one's coming from.
So, like, how did you get 4? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I guess in theory you could hit a double box and get a 3 and a 1, but that would be super lucky.
Yes, I think they're purposely trying to like keep it close. And I will just say, because I don't know if any of you played it, battle mode's there.
I haven't played battle mode, no.
It is not great courses. I think that's been the MO since Mario Kart 64, is they just reuse assets. I do like that one of them is kind of like, it's the Dino arc or whatever it's called. And it is just a giant circle, but like near like the 1 minute mark, like a giant T-Rex will come into the match. And I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. But outside of that, I'm like, oh, the only fun, again, I had fun with it, but it's not great. The only fun thing I found out, and my friend showed me this, is if you use a feather and jump over another player, in balloon battle you can steal a balloon or get back a balloon, and in coin battle you can steal coins from them. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of nifty. Because outside of that, I really don't know what you do with the feather.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you can use it to jump over green or red shells.
Right, I guess you could use. Yeah, I would use it more for red, because green shells you don't really get a heads up on. Red
Right.
shells, yes, yeah.
Yeah, you red shells. You get the you've been home, like it's homing in on you. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I have not finished all the cups yet. I'm just like doing like one or so a day. So I've been kind of savoring it a bit. I know I'll be playing it for the next 5-6 years, but I'm not rushing through it. Did you get anything else with the Switch, Earl?
Well, that was going to be my final complaint. It's as much as I'm enjoying Mario Kart World, they really needed another single player game at launch that was new. Because it's been Mario Kart and then going back to Viatro.
I mean, Bellagio is great, but yes, not a Switch to.
It is great. It's fantastic. I played some Lacrosse, but I'm like, these are the games I was playing on my Switch a week ago. Nothing's changed.
Right.
And I'm sure there are like I part of it. I mean, not part of it. I think it's I don't often go back and play games, so like I could go and like check out Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom or Odyssey, and then like see how that's improved. But I really Donkey Kong really has to be there for a month if this is what we're going to get, because I don't even know there's no like major games in between them from third parties either.
Yeah, it's it'll be what Donkey Kong, and then when is Pokemon?
October.
No, so that's a chunk.
Yeah.
And I guess Metroid will be in there somewhere, but probably later in the year, would be my guess. But Geoff's been playing Fantasy Life. Something.
Yeah.
It's a long subtitle. Geoff, how are you enjoying Fantasy Life? I know how you're enjoying it, but
I love it. I think that, like Earl just said, there needs to be like another like single player like launch game. This is it. I've told so many people now, like, I don't know what else to get. Like, I got Mario Kart. What else to get? It's like, dude, if you like fucking Animal Crossing style games at all, get Fantasy Life I. And the funny thing is, like, last week, like I told you guys, it's basically Animal Crossing, but there's combat.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, if I was like in an elevator pitch where like talking to a coworker, that's probably how I would say it too. But like having played it more, it is like, what if it is a full RPG? It's just like everything feeds back into doing that, like Animal Crossing / Stardew Valley, whatever, like the town building thing. Everything feeds back into that, but it is a full RPG. There's bosses, there is stats. Everything you do has stats, actually. Like mining, like being a miner is one of the jobs you could do. But if you need to have the right stat levels to like mine an ore. If a piece of like a mineral sitting there and it's like level 28 and you're level 14, you ain't gonna be able to do it. So like to me, it's just like it's Animal Crossing, but complex. But like as I played it more, like, again, I feel like it's like a true RPG, and everyone should, like, if you have like the remotest interest in anything like this type of game, you should absolutely play it. It is like amazing. And on top of it, like, you know, when we talked about it last week, like I hadn't even discovered like most of what it is. There's a whole, like, there's an entire open world map, Breath of the World style, where there's like towers that you have to climb and fucking, or find and fucking have them shed light on the land. There's shrines everywhere. It is literally like a Breath of the Wild map in the middle of it, and the shrines have basically town members that you could rescue from them. And as you get more town members, back in your town, you could like clear debris that takes 5 people, 10 people, whatever. So like I said, everything feeds back into like the Animal Crossing style game.
Building your town and
yeah, but it is very much like a full RPG that is very engrossing and very like chill. Like it's the type of game that like you could just like sink hours and hours and hours into, and I've been doing that. And meanwhile, like screening like questions for people who are like, "What the fuck am I supposed to do with my Switch 2?" Like, there's Mario Kart, but what else? It's like, dude, I don't know what I have to do to convince people that like this game is amazing. But if you like Animal Crossing, anything, Stardew Valley, anything at all like that. In fact, it reminds me most of like Dragon Quest Builders. So if you dug that game, you'll dig this. But like, it's all those things, but it's like a full RPG on top of it, where like you can spend a ton of time doing just whatever. Like, I got a party together. Like, you have a party, just like any RPG.
Yeah.
Usually when I go out, I bring all my warriors with me, and we go fuck shit up. But like, I wanted to raise my mining stat, so I took a bunch of party members who are miners. So we're all working on a gem, like to mine it. That's like twice my level, but because I have a whole party working on it, it works. Again, if any of this sounds like remotely interesting to you, Fantasy Life I is so good, man. It is like the surprise of the Switch. Like, again, it's not like technically a launch game because it was on the Switch 1. It's on Xbox. I think it's on everything.
Yeah,
but it came out like a week before. It's
like a week or two. It's not like some of these other ones. So from what I also gathered, a lot of people on my social media have been picking up Cyberpunk just because it runs so well on the Switch. So that's been another one a lot of people have been. And to be fair, I've not played Cyberpunk at all. If anything, I was looking into going back to kick because I've never played Scarlet and Violet. So I was looking to go back to play those as like kind of my single player game. But I have not made that decision yet because I might buy vouchers because I want to get Mario Party because Jamboree Plus TV. I'm gonna end up buying the stupid camera. I hate myself for that, but the Mario Kart thing looks fun. The Mario Kart thing is stupid fun. The one where when you play with friends, you can have like your little character head on top of your face on top of your character. Because it's one of my favorite features about Mario Kart Arcade. And I think I saw it online. I'm like, this is so dumb, but I love it. And then I think Jamboree Party will do fine. I might be an idiot and get Switch Tour, but I've not found any discounts on eShop cards yet. But yes, to Jeff's point, I guess there are games, but I think it's those games that I often consider. Oh, it would be fun if I had this system. I wouldn't go out of my way to buy it, and I think a lot of the lineup was that. But I think there are other games that are interesting in that regard. And I guess I'm having fun using my system now. I just think it needed. Like, I'm surprised they didn't have anything at launch that shows off mouse controls, for example.
Yeah, that is a little weird that they made such a big deal of it being a function of this and no games really are utilizing it yet.
Yeah, I think people said Civilization 7 uses it, and you can use it for the menus. And of course, Welcome Tour, but I don't think any of us have bought Welcome Tour.
I have Welcome Tour.
Did you?
I did. So as I think you came in late last week, Earl, but yeah, I got Bravely Default, Welcome Tour, and Fast Fusion.
Oh, okay.
Welcome Tour's fine. They're like little demo-y things.
Yes.
It's not a thing that should have cost $10. It's not offensive for $10 either. So
here's the one thing, and this is maybe just it's the one I just find it funny because I was around long enough to remember when people complained about Wii Sports being included in the Wii.
Yeah.
People were like, "Oh, why do I have to get this game? Just get rid of it and charge me $30 cheap or whatever." So it's weird to come full circle now. Folks are saying that they didn't randomly bundle a game they don't want into it. Because again, I agree that from everything I've seen of it, this seems like a really fun, novel way to introduce you to your system. And I think, especially with a name like Welcome Tour, it sounds like something that should be on your system.
Yeah.
I just find it funny how strong some people's reaction is to it online. Because again, you don't need to buy it.
No, it's just like I'm
talking about you. I'm talking about like I think what is their name now? Sterling.
Stephanie Sterling.
Yes, there we go. Gave it a 1 out of 10, and most of the complaints is about the price. And again, it could not be from what I've seen, it seems like a fundamentally functional game or experience. It is what it is. It's a $10 tech demo. You're doing a tech demo.
Yes.
But the way they talked about it, you think it murdered their kids.
Yeah, look, I allocated myself enough to like buy a second game, and in doing so, I bought 3 games to fit in that price. Well, it's like, so I was like, all right, I have $70. Bravely Default was $40. Fast Fusion was $15,
and this is 10.
And this was $10, so $65, and I got three programs for it. Because Welcome Tour is really, it's not a game. Like it's an interactive instruction manual.
Yeah.
But it's neat. It's neat enough. Like there's some cool things in it. Some of it is like, this isn't a great mini game, or it's not a great experience to do. But like you're learning about the system. Like I would not have known about how the speakers work in it, and like I think all that tech stuff is kind of neat to learn. You don't need to know it to utilize the system. All you need to know is that it sounds good coming out when it's in handheld out of the system. But like the tech behind it, they're kind of showing you the diagrams and how they design the sound system. It's like all that stuff's cool. But yeah, you don't need to spend $10 on it. Would it have been cool if it's in it? Yeah, sure. I think it's kind of a throwaway thing one way or the other.
But I was going to say, I think then people were complaining that it's on their system and then it's taking up space and they have to pay for it. It's a lose-use situation. And yeah, sure. This is on Nintendo. I mean, it doesn't look like it's a compelling game. I don't think 1-2 Switch is like a compelling game. I honestly think, I mean, if people point to Astro's Playroom, and I guess that would be up there, but nothing has really come close to, I mean, to me, there are 3 pack-ins. The original Super Mario Brothers, Tetris, and Wii Sports.
Sure.
Everything else is trying for a very distant 4th place.
I agree with that. I have not played Bravely Default or Fast Fusion yet, so I have nothing to say on them. Tony, did you get a chance to play anything over the last 2 weeks? I didn't think so, but I just wanted to give you an opportunity to say that. Earl, did you play anything else besides Mario Kart and Balatro?
My usual Fortnite had a new season introduced this week. It's a superhero theme season. Two things came out of that really. One, I think I detailed this last week, or it was announced last week. The Switch 2 version came out, which is more on par with the Xbox, PlayStation, PC version. So I tried that on the Switch just for curiosity's sake. I guess that is a game I could have tried mouse controls with. Um, I've always played Team Rumble because the friend I usually play with has been busy or AWOL, so I don't know the intricacies of it. So far I'm very confused. It introduces a new hero gauge meter, which goes up with certain, I guess, heroic actions, and as it does, you gain perks. So killing people, opening chests and stuff like that pulls up the meter. And I think if you get to S tier, you get like health regeneration and stuff like that. It's a weird addition. I kind of miss the Star Wars season. I think mostly because all there's or lightsabers, so you didn't have to worry about ammo. So going back to ammo and different guns having different things, I'm kind of eh. Then there are some neat stuff. I do think. Like I said, it is superhero themed, and it's superhero themed. It's specifically kind of DC themed because it's a tie into the Superman movie that comes out in a month. So one of the things you can get is Crypto's treat, which is a biscuit you throw, and Crypto comes flying in and does like area of effect damage and destroys any build there. I think that's a really fun and cute addition. Of course, nobody's gonna really be that like, oh, I'm gonna stay right here so this dog attacks me, but that's fun. And then you get certain powers. There's like a visor that allows you to scan for enemies. There is like you get like mist hands where you shoot out bats and stuff like that. So some fun additions, some not so fun additions. I need more time to play around with it, but so far it's enjoyable. I think I'm gonna get rid of it on my Switch. Uh,
Okay.
Nothing wrong with it. It's just 32 gigs on a system that is already desperate for space because I bought over so much on my Switch that it just ate into the. I had to keep on deleting games because it could not download everything from my original Switch onto it, and I did not realize how much stuff I had just accumulated on my Switch because I had an SD card.
Yep.
That's why you don't transfer. Don't transfer. Never transfer.
I transfer everything because I wanted to make sure the saves are there, and
but they are. They're there. Like, dude. I mean, maybe if you don't have this, online, maybe not. But my saves are there.
I also did that because I wanted to make sure. Because I think the way I transferred it, and knock on wood, I've actually not tried. It kept everything else on the original Switch as well.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to get
you have to. Yeah.
Yeah, so I did that, not the cloud version, because you can do it where you you shot everything up into the cloud and then downloaded it. This was system to system transfer. So there's certain stuff that I think Animal Crossing, for example, just goes away on the OG.
Yeah.
You can only have one instance of your island no matter what.
Yeah.
But I think everything else kind of stays on the OG Switch as well. And I will say, this is going way, way back. I kind of miss the dorky Nintendo stuff. Like I think when you did the Wii to Wii U transfer, there were Pikmin that would take your games from the Wii to the Wii U, and this just doesn't do anything of this sort.
No, it's just kind of like here's a screen, it's transferring. Nothing fun, no little animations. Just it's working in the background.
The Pikmin are behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't bring them forward.
Seems like that was sort of unnecessary, though.
It was unnecessary, but it was fun.
I think you only do one time ever. Like,
yeah,
a special animation for it.
Again, that's why I miss Goofy Nintendo. It's the same way. Like it made no sense whatsoever. I prefer a bar that sells me percentage. But when you used to download games on the Wii and you'd have like the little Mario meter come and hit the coin blocks, there's no way to actually tell what the hell that meant. Because he would stand that ass block for like half an hour and then just start hitting. It's like, I guess my game's almost done. But I like the animation. No, that also reminds me, and this is, I don't think it's stupid, but I really like how the Joy-Cons go into the system.
Oh, they're great.
It feels
good.
So good.
It's like a nice snap. Like
yeah.
it's like, and it's not that click either from the Switch, which was fine, but this feels secure.
It feels so different. It feels so. I literally brought it out to brunch with my friends last Sunday. I'm like, look at this. I'm like, I just took it off and put it back on again. I'm like, this feels so good. You don't understand.
And then it connects. Like you can put it in any way. You can put them in backwards. I don't know why you do that, but you can.
Yeah, I don't know why you would do that. But yes, I'm happy that they did it so that it wouldn't like break the system in any fashion or something like that, or like ruin Joy-Cons in that way. But there's just something so satisfying. And I think even when I put in the Joy-Con wrist straps, I also like that because that's also magnetic, and just like taking them off, and it feels good. It feels good.
Oh, they do have magnets. I didn't notice that. Look at that. All right, Geoff, did you play anything else besides Fantasy Life?
Just Mario Kart.
Yeah,
which we talked about. Yeah.
The only other thing I played, I played and finished up Crime Scene Cleaner, which Tony had talked about earlier this year.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh,
Scene.
That was fun. It was fun. Like it was, Power. It's like very similar to Power Wash Simulator, same vibe. There's a little bit more to it. Yeah, but it's a crime scene. You're cleaning blood, mopping it generally. I guess you could use a power washer too, but I didn't find that very useful.
I think once you unlock the second like hand thing, I almost use that exclusively.
You get to use a bone saw.
No.
So you basically just carry the bodies around, and
you carry them, you throw them in your truck or into a dumpster, and they automatically like go into a body bag.
Game sucks.
it's very simplistic, but like they give you these large environments to kind of go through. I do think the last two levels are maybe a little too big.
That final level, like I missed something, and I'm like, I'm not trying that again. That took too long.
So I had completed everything except I was missing 2 boxes where you have to put all the boxes back on the shelf.
Yeah,
and I couldn't find them.
I don't know if it's bugged or like that. That was also what I missed. It was the same thing.
So I was like, I'm not quitting. I have every fucking achievement in this game up until this point. I'm gonna find this shit.
There's no like YouTube videos or something.
So I went on. I like typed in like the level I was on, missing boxes, and somebody was like, "Yeah, it might have glitched, and they're now in the lighting fixture."
Oh my God.
So I had to, and I did. I looked up, and they were hanging by a light. So I had to like get on a step ladder and pull them down. But I would never have thought to look up there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I thought that they had just blown through the map because I did get some like other weird bugs. I had to reload, like respawn in on the one where the boss's daughter calls you because like 8 people died at her like villa.
I think that's my favorite level.
That one's fun, yeah. But I somehow like knocked a piece of wood that they used to get a keg up onto where the pool is. I went to go hit it, and it went through the map, and like I could see it, but I just couldn't pick it up. Like I could see the outline, so I had to respawn into the map. Had to have it reload to get that to come back out of the geometry. It was fun. It's a fun little game. I think I've had my fill of those until Power Wash 2 comes out, which I think is this year. But like there's like Spray Paint Simulator that just came out. It's like, I'm good.
Yeah, I don't think I need to create art.
Yeah.
That needs to happen. Not what I'm here for.
I just cleaned up art with...
Yeah.
The one mission I really liked was in the museum.
Oh yeah.
Like that one was neat. It was like there was kind of like a puzzle element to it where you had to find the exhibits and place them back in their correct locations.
Yeah.
So that one was kind of fun. Yeah, a neat little game on Game Pass, but that's the only other thing I played. I don't know. I don't know what I don't know if anything is coming out in the next couple weeks. Looks like we might be dead until Donkey Kong.
Wow, is it really that quiet? Isn't Death Stranding out soon?
Are any of us going to play Death Stranding?
Okay, I mean two different questions.
Yeah, you're fair. That is fair. Let's see. The Gex trilogy. Anybody excited for that? FBC Firebreak is next week. That is the shooter that takes place in the Control and Alan Wake universe.
That's fun.
Yeah. I'm not sure. That might be free to play. I'm not sure. I don't see it.
It is a very quiet. It's so. I mean, not quiet. I mean, this is literally just a giant ass concert I released, but it's a quiet rest of the month. Actually, I think we went through this. It's a quiet rest of the year. Well, I guess the year got filled out a bit.
Yeah.
But not super a ton.
But yeah, Donkey Kong in July. Also, Tony Hawk in July. So there's some games to look forward to.
Yes. But do you know what that means for next week?
What the hell? The movie with Freddie Prinze Jr. and the other dude.
Matthew. Yes, indeed.
Wing Commander.
Yes.
Wing Commander. Jeff is not watching Wing Commander. Guarantee you.
Can we choose not to watch?
Yeah, I'm on vacation next week, so I might not be here.
Okay.
This is a true statement. This is not just a response to the fact that they're doing Wing Commander. Although.
All right. Well, that gives me something to look forward to for next week. I don't know how much we should be looking forward to rewatching Wing Commander, but it's there. Yep, Wing Commander next week.
You guys have seen it before?
I saw it in theaters.
You saw it in theaters?
Yeah.
How can you leave that out of the podcast? I saw Wing Commander. What year was this?
99?
Yeah. So we used was it 99, Earl?
Yeah.
I thought he said 2009. I was like, no way. Dude.
No. It was 1999. We used to go. I would go every Friday after our hockey games.
So crazy.
We would go see the weirdest shit, like Battlefield Earth. I saw in theaters. That movie is garbage. Wing Commander's better than that.
But I remember like Battlefield Earth got like a ton of press, but like I don't remember a Wing Commander movie being in theaters at all. Like I didn't know that was a movie.
Yeah, so Wing Commander was. I mean, we talked about it when Earl picked it. Chris Roberts, he directed it as well. He's the director of the Wing Commander games and now of Star Citizen.
That's right. Yeah.
He I was a big Wing Commander fan. I had friends that were big Wing Commander fans that were on my hockey team, and so we knew it was coming out. So, we made a special beeline and went and saw it at midnight on a Friday night.
Amazing.
It's a movie. It's a film that exists. So we'll talk about Wing Commander next week. Jeff may or may not be with us as he's on real vacation. But Jeff, say goodnight.
Good night.